Good morning, everyone. Hang on. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday practice. We'll be spending the next hour and a half together in what we call the Bootcamp. It's a practice where we get together once a week to sharpen our knife, basically, so that we can continue to practice during the week. Looking back in November, when the wrong person got elected, as far as I'm concerned, to be our president, I made a slight change in our course, and some students misunderstood me as being perhaps too political. But what I was trying to do was trying to confront the anger, the divisions, and the despair. And I remember I talked about the Shambhala warriors. The Shambhala warriors is a legend in Tibet among the Tibetan Buddhists. It says that deep in the Himalayas, there is a place where a group of Buddhists are practicing and the Buddha's teaching, and they are called the warriors of the Shambhala kingdom. And I mentioned how in that legend, it says that just when we think that the world has come to an end, they would appear. And they would appear with the most powerful weapons known to the universe. On one hand, they have something that symbolizes their wisdom. And then on the other hand, they have something that symbolizes their compassion. And little did I know that the warriors have appeared. One is called Aloka. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, there is a group of monks walking for peace, starting in Texas and now on the way to Washington, and they're now passing through Atlanta. And these monks, they're not a savior. They're not a savior. They are our teachers, and they're teaching by example. And the message is very simple. We all want peace. The way to do that is to find peace within ourselves. And that's what we're trying to do here, is to look within ourselves and understand our existence, which is not just physical. Our existence is not only in this body. This is what the North Indians call the food body. It's here because you ate breakfast, you eat lunch and dinner, and someday you have to return it. But our existence is beyond this. Existence is actually in the mind as well. We alternate from week to week. Most of us are used to this. One week, we focus more on the mind, and one week, we focus more on the body. But we don't separate the two. So today, in the end, we're going to be doing a floor exercise called the Yi Jing Jing, YJJ, which stands for exchange of the tendon, but actually means the renewal of the connected tissues, which make up the energy channel, the chi channel. And to start with, we're going to be doing some massage, acupressure, tapping, and scraping, and so forth, all for the purpose of clearing our energy channel. The energy, the chi, is in fact the bridge between our physical existence and our spiritual existence. Now, before we do that, I wanted to do a simple exercise, something that I want you to carry with you all through the week, all through the day, which is that as we age, we lose some energy, some what we call the yang energy, the energetic energy. It's all because of the collapse of our spiral column. That's why we get shorter and shorter as we age. And the spiral column is where we manufacture our red blood cell and the white blood cell. So it's linked to our level of energy as well as our ability to be um, immune from diseases. And it collapses because it oxidizes. And what we want to do is we want to reverse the oxidation by doing what the animal does, which is to stretch our spine. When you go to yoga class, that's the first thing they do is teach you how to stretch your spine. So I want you to do this. But remember now, this is not something you do only once a week. It's a habit that I want you to develop that you do all through the week, all through the day. And it's a very simple practice. You first anchor your mind on the very bottom of your spine. You walk along the spine from the bottom to the top. You walk towards the top of the head. But as you walk, you stop at every joint and you stretch the spine towards the ceiling as if you're increasing the distance between the joint. You continue to go up. You keep stretching until you feel a little bit of pain. And then you lean back. As you lean back, you feel the lightness in your body because you're removing the dependence on your muscle. You're putting the weight of your upper torso on your spine and not relying on the muscle. Then I want you to focus on your shoulder and just lift up that shoulder as if you're bringing the entire body towards the ceiling. You bring your shoulder up as far as you can, as if you bring it to the ears. And then I want you to open that shoulder as far back as you can, as if you're pressing a tennis ball in the back. And then I want you to relax. Now, these two are separate, but they're related. Stretching the spine basically stretch to what we call the guardian vessel, but it's also where the essence of the kidney energy line travels. The essence of the kidney is the marrow. It goes up the spine, and then it comes into your brain, your thinking mind. The Chinese call the brain matter the sea of the marrow. Now, this kidney energy is water. What adds life to water is mineral. The mineral is the lung energy line. The lung energy lines ends in front of your shoulder before it goes into the inside. There are two energy points here. One I've been calling the gate to the cloud. So when you lift up the shoulder and open it, you're actually releasing the energy in your lung, the mineral, as if you're bringing that energy throughout your body. Now I want you to spend the next 3 minutes practicing this simple motion, this simple posture. I want you to come back to the spine. I want you to move from the bottom of the spine to the top of the head. Stretch the spine as if you're increasing the distance between the joints. And then when you finish stretching the spine, I want you to then lift up the shoulder. We're going to combine the two together. Keep stretching. Then I want you to open the shoulder and then at the same time lean back. Then I want you to relax the shoulder and then relax the spine. Let's spend 3 minutes doing that. This is going to do wonder in rejuvenating your body. Let's focus on the bottom of the spine. Move up the spine. As if you're pulling the disc apart, pulling the joints apart. And then when you get to the top of the head, focus on the shoulder. Lift up the shoulder. When you think that you can get the shoulder up to the ear level, then I want you to open the shoulder. And as you open the shoulder, I want you to lean back. Then I want you to relax the shoulder, relax the spine. And then start again. Stretch, lift up, open, lean back, and then relax. Very slowly. There's no hurry here. Lift it up. Stretch the spine towards the ceiling. Open that shoulder. Bring the entire upper torso back. And then relax. Completely relax. And then start another cycle. Stretch towards the ceiling. Lift up your shoulder. Lean back. Open that shoulder. And then relax. Give yourself enough time to relax before you start the next one. But once you start the next one, you go into what we call the determination pyramid. You just have to follow from the beginning to the end. And then another one at a time, one at a time. Understanding that like everything else, like it comes in cycle. There's always a beginning and an end. Okay. All right. Okay, so now let's start today's practice, and we're going to be working on our fingers. We're going to end with our toes. We're going to be working at the top of the head all the way to the bottom of the feet. Then we're going to do our YJJ, and then after that, we're going to meditate. And after we settle down, then we're going to be doing a metta meditation, just like the monks. Okay, metta means loving kindness. Loving kindness built on gratitude and acceptance. Acceptance includes forgiveness. Okay. All right. So let's focus on the body. Let's bring up our hands. Let's take out our left hand. Observe our fingers. Let's take out our right thumb, and we're going to massage the tip of the fingers one at a time. Now, notice that we are actually practicing mindfulness meditation. Right now, we are mindful of our body, mindful of the sensation that we create as we massage our fingertips. Okay? Now, after we massage the fingertips, we're going to come back and massage the joints. We're going to massage one joint at a time. And as we massage our joints, we need to develop this practice where we keep checking to see if we are actually doing unitasking. The monks talks about unitasking. He says the source of your anxiety and your suffering starts with the misnotion of multitask. You think that you can multitask, where in fact, no one can multitask. Multitask means that you're not even paying attention. So we want to learn to do that. Pay attention, completely pay attention to our body, to our thumb, to the feeling that we create, the sensation that we create as we rub our joints. Now we finish with the palm of the hand. It's important that we inspect the palm of the hand, stay focused on the body. Then I'm going to flip and work on the back of the hand. Again, starting with the fingertips. And this time we're going to use the thumb and the index finger and just put it on both sides, the two corners of the fingernail, and just do a very gentle squeeze. One finger at a time, right? Completely focus on our body, right? So many of the people commented, he says, how come these monks are walking barefoot? Isn't it kind of painful? Oh, sure it is, right? They walk on gravels. It's very painful, but they're meditating. They're meditating on the sensation that they create as they walk. And as I said many times, pain is one thing, suffering is another. Pain goes away. Suffering lingers as long as you give it opportunity to linger. And so they're exactly doing what we're doing, which is they're feeling the pain every step of the way. But as soon as the pain is gone, they accept the pain and then they let go of the pain. It's all right there. It's all right there. All right. So now we're going to continue to massage your fingers, but this time we come back to the palm of the hand. We take the thumb and use this to massage the length of the fingers. Okay. And then we turn the hands around, we massage the length of the fingers. Now, that I mentioned many times, the fingers are the extremities. They're actually the exchange points between yin energy, which is what travels from the universe into a body, away from the sun, and what's called the yang energy, which is facing the sun, that energy that flows out. And the exchange points are the fingertips. So it's very important that we massage the fingertips. Now that we're done with the fingers, we're going to continue the massage. And we focus on the back of the hand, which is facing the sun. That's the yang channel, just like our spiral cord, just like our back. And first, we're going to massage in between the fingers. We're going to take the thumb, use the edge of the thumb, and just massage in between the fingers, one at a time. And then now to the right hand. Again, practicing mindfulness. And I call mindfulness anchoring. Anchor your mind somewhere. All right. Now we're going to make a fist and we're going to massage in between the knuckles. Again, using the edge of the thumb and massage in between the knuckles. And now from the from the left hand to the right hand. Now we're going to massage the back of the hand in between the fingers. We take the right thumb and just massage as if you're massaging along in between the bones. Okay. Now I'm going to introduce 3 energy points. In Chinese, they all start with the word yang, the sun. One is part of what we call the triple warmer, which is in the back. So there's 3 yang energy line. It actually starts with that's called the index. What is that called? I forgot. Okay, so actually it comes down, and then now if you bend your wrist a little bit, you find a dimple in here, and so I want you to press on that. Now we're doing acupressure, right? The ring finger, yeah, normally where we were. Now just press on that. Now there's another one, which is the thumb. That's the large intestine. It comes down, and the best way to find it is bend your thumb back a little bit, and now you find this dimple right here, and you press on that. And then along the little finger right here, that's a small intestine. Okay, now same thing on the other side. Move along the ring finger to the wrist, and then press. And then the thumb come down and press, and then right here and press. Okay, use your thumb. Don't use your fingernail. Okay, all right. Okay, now you notice that we've been working mostly on the 4 fingers, so the thumb deserves individual attention. So let's massage the thumb. Right, the thumb is actually the most important digit. Right, if you lose your thumb, you basically lose 90% of the utility of the other 4 fingers. Now let's do the other side. Massage the thumb, and there's a part of the thumb right here that is very important. It's actually the part that increases the vitality of the heart, right? So you say, well, why is the thumb related to the heart? Well, actually, it's not that simple. There's a lot of energy points along each of the meridians. Even though lung is associated with mineral, each of the energy has its own characteristics. So this one, it helps with the vitality of the heart. This one helps the vitality of the kidney, even though they are on the same meridian. Now, I want you to take the thumb and the index finger, and as if you're making a pincher, and just pinch this part, okay? Pinch this. This is a very important part. This is a very important part. Just pinch that, and then pinch this side. And then I want you to use the knuckle, and then just kind of drill in it. Same thing on the other side. And now we come to the center of the palm. The center of the palm is the pericardium. And it's very simple. If you just press in it, you know where the center of the thumb is. But if you're not sure, you take the middle finger, you bend it in. It's just right there. Now, again, you can use the knuckle and just press on. Now, this is a very important energy point. We often say that the hand is the healing hand, which is true. And the healing comes from the energy at the center of the palm. And so whenever you want to do a massage for someone, you want to make good use of your hand, and you want to think of your hand as the healing hand. The first thing you want to do is you want to rub them together. Now, the trick to this is that your mind and your body has to be one. This is the way to release your internal energy. And then now you put the right on top of the left and you massage in between the fingers and also the back of the hand and the center of your palm. And now let's do the other side. Okay. All right. So we got to the point now where our hands are nice and warm, right? And you notice that your body is now nice and warm, right? Because you're actually releasing the what we call the life energy. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of Qigong exercise. Qi means life energy, Gong just means practice, nothing really mystical about it. And this particular set of exercise has to do with the fingers, identifying the fingers as the five elements, and then understanding that your internal organs are also associated with the five elements. That's a linkage. So let's come back to our spine. Let's sit up straight, stretch your spine, lift up our shoulder, open the shoulder, lean back, and then relax. Now let's bring out our hands. Let's take a thumb and an index finger, put the fingertips together, close our eyes, and then we're going to squeeze that as hard as we can. Now we take a thumb and put it in the middle fingers, and we're going to squeeze that as hard as we can. Now to the ring finger, and we're going to squeeze, and then the little fingers, and we're going to squeeze. Now we take the thumb, we put that in the middle of the index finger, and we're going to squeeze the middle of the middle finger, the middle of the ring finger, the middle of the small fingers. Okay, now this set of exercise actually very famous. It's said to have medicinal value to prevent stroke, or if you have a minor stroke, it is there for your physical therapy. And stroke is in fact inflammation. And so there's a very famous saying in a book. It's been around for many thousands of years, and it basically says that if your energy channel is clear, there's no pain, no chronic pain. And if your energy channel is blocked, then, well, if there's chronic pain, then it means that your energy channel is blocked. There's a direct correspondence. And by pain, they meant inflammation, right? In the Western world, we don't suffer much pain anymore, because we have pain medicine. Pain medicine removes the symptom, but doesn't solve the problem. The problem is inflammation. It comes in many forms, right? Diabetic inflammation, okay? Cholesterol inflammation, stroke inflammation, heart attack inflammation, dementia inflammation. It's all there, right? It's all there. It just comes in different form. All right, so now we're going to get ready for the next set of finger exercise, which has to do with the neurological health. And I mentioned many times, almost every time, and I said that human being, the evolution of our species start with knowing how to use our fingers. We're the first one to figure out how to use our thumb, so we can break off the branch, defend ourselves, walk down from the tree, start walking upright, living in the cave, start domesticating animals, start inventing use of fire, okay? So on and so on. It all starts with the fingers. So the fingers is in fact tied to our brain, and using one hand at a time actually allows us to exercise between the left brain and the right brain. Inflammation in the brain is what causes dementia. Inflammation mainly in the separation, the membrane that separates the left brain from the right brain. And I mentioned many times, my father died from dementia. And so I had a chance to observe him. And looking back, observe things that I didn't even recognize at the time, which is it all starts with the loss of balance. Dementia starts with the loss of balance, not knowing how to use the left brain from the right brain, right? And so if you look at our current president, he has a great deal of problem walking because he had lost his balance. He's dragging his feet. That's a very obvious sign of dementia. All right, enough of cursing. I'm evil. All right, so this exercise requires that you stretch your spine again, lift up your shoulder, open your shoulder, lean back, and then relax. And then now I want you to bring up your right hand Focus on your fingers. Close your eyes. Now I want you to close your fingers one at a time using your left brain. First the thumb, then two fingers, then the index fingers, and then finally the pinky. I want you to put down your right hand, bring up your left hand. Focus on your left hand now using your right brain. Thumb, two fingers, index, little fingers. Bring up both hands and squeeze as hard as you can. Leave the right hand, open your fists in the reverse order. Small fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. Now to the left, small fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. And then stretch as hard as you can. And now speak to yourself and says, I just finished the first one. Now let me do the second one. Thumb, two fingers, index, little fingers. Left, thumb, two fingers, index, little fingers. Squeeze as hard as you can. Right hand, index, thumb, the small fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. Left hand, small fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. Stretch as hard as you can. Now say to yourself, I finished two, now to the last. Thumb, two fingers, index, little fingers. Thumb, two fingers, index, little fingers. Squeeze, little fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. Little fingers, index, two fingers, thumb. Stretch as hard as you can. Now sit up straight, put your hands together, palm facing the center, the palm facing the center, palm. Push, lift up your elbow. Keep pushing. Now bring your fingers down without separating the center of your palm. Stretch the elbow. I don't mean elbow, I mean wrist. And then bring it back up. And now we're going to do some tapping. First, we're going to tap the fingertips. Now, I want you to tap as if you're playing a musical instrument. So it requires your total attention. And as you tap, I want you to feel the vibration. We're going to tap 30 times. Get ready? Go. Now, I want you to cross the hand and tap in between the fingers. Again, 30 times. Okay, now we're going to tap two very important energy line, one in the small fingers, one in the thumb. The one along the small fingers associated with the heart, but it's really the mental side of the heart. So it's not the heart, but Chinese, they don't separate the two, right? So in this case, it's really more like the mind. And then the other side is the energy line that we associate with the lung. And so I want you to put your hands together, forming a V, this part against this part, right? Don't tap the bones, right? Because there's no use. All right, get ready. Play it like as if you're playing an instrument 30 times. Now we're going to bring the thumbs together again, tapping this meaty part 30 times. Okay, now this is the yin side. Now we're going to work on the yang side. The yin side of the mind is the small intestine. In the West, we call the small intestine now the second brain. There's a lot of stuff going on in the small intestine. Your key to your health is to protect that. Make sure that your intestinal health is there. And the easiest way to preserve the intestinal health is to stay away from processed food. Processed food is full of um, preservatives, and preservatives is there to kill germs, and it kills it forever, right? It creates an environment where germs will not survive. That's why you can put your ketchup and your sriracha hot sauce or whatever it is on the table for months, and it won't spoil because there's preservative. but the preservative gets in the intestine, it kills all your probiotic, right? So stay away from processed food, stay away from restaurant food, okay? Or as much as you can, right? I eat out. I just don't eat out every day. I once a week, twice a week, that's all I do. All right, so the small intestine is actually on the outside, and you fold your palm like this. There's a line, and then at the edge. Now, this one actually is magical. This one basically means the stream in the back, right? So it's actually known to tie to your back. And so for those of you who have chronic back problem, that's your kidney energy deficiency, right? And so this is one of the things that helps. There are other things that helps. Basically, throughout our practice here between the 2 weeks, we go through all the different ways of preserving our kidney energy. Right now, again, kidney energy. The essence of kidney energy is the marrow, and the marrow not only is in your spine, in your spinal cord. It actually is your brain. So kidney energy is a very important part, right? It finally ties to your neurological health, right? So we do a lot here. We stand on our toes, right? We do a lot of stuff here. Okay, so now the way to work on this is that you fold your hand, you see the line, then you put your palm together like this, flat. You roll up your fingers, and you tap that 30 times. Get ready, go. Okay, all right. Now, so remember this energy points, right? As we tap the rest of the body, we're going to be using this as well. Now, the opposite of that, the counterpart of that is the large intestine, and there's an important energy point right here. So if you stretch out, you push down, we call that the valley. We call that the merging valley. And so let's take the this energy point, put that on top. Let's tap that 30 times. And then the other side. Okay, so last week or the week before, I don't remember which, but I put out a bunch of articles on my various social media platform, including Facebook, Patreon, as well as our own Insights Timer circle called Mindfulness Fellowship. I put out a bunch of articles, some of which are translated into English, some of which are not, but then you can at least see it and see how it's practiced. And the technique is called 3-1-2. It's a very simple technique, very simple technique. And 3 means 3 energy points. 1 basically means breathing with your diaphragm. And then the 2 means the second heart, which is your calf, right? So it's a very simple practice. So what are the 3 energy points? One is right here, merging valley. So let's learn to do a little bit of acupressure. So we again stretch out, form the valley, see the ridge right here. We take a right thumb, see that line, we put that on the ridge, we press down. But the trick is to take your right hand and put it on the outside of the left hand as you push down. That way you're leaning towards the index finger and you feel pain or at least tenderness as you do that. Now this magical point release a lot of pain in your body. It's a very good point, but it has many purpose. Okay, now let's do the other side. Open it up, see the ridge, take your thumb, see that line, put that line on top of the ridge, press down, but then take your left hand and wrap around the right hand on the outside and push down. Okay, so the second energy point that the 3-1-2 technique recommend is actually right here. So at the wrist, 3 fingers right in the middle, where you wear your watch. And you press in with your thumb, you take the other 4 fingers, you wrap it around, and you squeeze. Same thing, and you squeeze, okay? So then later on, I'll show you the last of the three energy points, which is part of the stomach meridian. Okay, so 3, 1, 2. 3 means three energy points. 1 means breathing with your diaphragm, and 2 means that exercising your calf. Right. So the simplest way to exercise your calf is walk. Don't run. Walk. You can walk in the park. Even better way is go up and down the stairs. Right. Or like in San Francisco, we often have bad weather, but then we usually have a long walkway. Just walk on that, right? So that's keep your calves strong, because that's the second heart. All right. So we come to the part that you all like, which is scraping. Now you can just do it with your knuckle, right? Okay. Or you can have scraping tools that you can buy from Amazon, or you can use the cap of a jar. Someone mentioned that. Very smart, right? Or you can use a ruler, something like that, right? So now the key here, now we're going to do a little bit more thorough, but then when you're on your own, you only need to scrape the back of the hand. That's the most effective. But let's be more thorough. And we're going to scrape first the center, which is the pericardium. And we're going to scrape from the elbow all the way down to the wrist. And then we're going to come back. Okay. Now we're going to move up, and you see the bone right here. And then the inside the bone is the meridian that we name after the lung, and back. And then we're going to scrape on the bone. And then we're going to scrape outside the bone, which is the last intestine. Now, I mentioned that if you're on your own, you want to do this a couple of times a day, which is what I do. I usually just scrape on the outside of the bone, the large intestine. Also in the middle, which is the triple warmer. And then scrape the back of the hand, right? This is very good if you have arthritis. Okay. And then back. And then on the outside, which is where the small fingers are, and then scrape that. And then just keep rotating your hand as you continue. And then finally, it's the small fingers down. And I want you to scrape around 4 inches this area. This is a very famous area. It actually helps you improve the quality of sleep, because it settles your mind. Okay, now we're done with the left hand. Let's do the right hand. I have a bunch of these around my house, different way, right? I scrape during class. I scrape when I watch TV. I scrape before I go to bed. Okay, and then finally right here. Okay, all right, so you all know how to do that, right? Okay, good. Okay, so now we come to, now that we cleared the channel, we completely cleared the channel from the fingertips all the way to the wrist, okay? So now we're ready to do the next set of exercise, which has to do with forcing energy out and energy back, right? Action equal to reaction. So let's come back to our spine, stretch, come back to our shoulder, lift up, lean back, open the shoulder, relax the spine. Let's point 10 fingers towards the camera. Let's roll up the 4 fingers and lock it with the thumb. The 4 fingers are like the spring. Let's wind up the spring, but don't let it come out yet. Hold it, but wind up, and then go 1, 2, lock your elbow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. All right. So this is magical if you have carpal tunnel, right? Or you want to prevent carpal tunnel when you have repetitive action, and we all do. Whether you're using the mouse, using the smartphone, or you work in the kitchen. I once know a sushi chef who was suffering from carpal tunnel because that's what he does. All right. So now the next one is very related to that. But what we need to do is we need to stretch the spine. Now I noticed that this exercise requires that we rotate our hand. And whenever I rotate my hand, I feel like I'm activating this energy point here, which is tied to the kidney. So I always find that when I do this exercise, I try to put some pressure on the back where the kidneys are. And so I do that by stretching a spine. And instead of leaning back right away, I lean forward. And then I lean back. And when I lean back, I hold my hip in place so that as I lean back, I feel a little bit of pressure on the lower back on both sides where my kidneys are. Then I open my shoulder and relax. Then I take out my hands and locking the thumb and the middle fingers together and stretching the other three. This is called the lotus hand. I put that in front of my shoulder where the gate of the clouds are. I open it once more and I push out my hip and lean back. Back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready. 1, back of the hand facing camera. Come back, lotus hand, sit up straight, push your hip forward, lean back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? All right. So now we're ready to move towards the top of the head. And so the next part that we need to work on is the neck. Now, for those of you who have high blood pressure and taking high blood pressure medicine, you feel a lot of stress in here because one of the reasons that you're having high blood pressure is that you're not getting enough oxygen in your brain. And when you take high blood pressure medicine, it returns your blood pressure back to the way the doctor thinks is normal, which means that you're really not getting enough oxygen into your brain, and you develop a lot of aching around here. So let's massage that. Let's take a thumb and then find that cavity. Okay, now sit up straight, lean back, don't look down. And we're going to massage these two cavities. These two cavities called the pond of wind. Whenever you hear the word wind, it means nerve, something that you cannot see, cannot taste, cannot smell, that you can only feel. All right. Now we're going to push down with the thumb as if you're squeezing a water hose. You're going to lean back your forehead. So you put in some counter pressure, you hold it, and then you relax. Now you take the right hand, you put that on the left, you sit up straight, you push down with your 4 fingers, and you grab the left side of your neck and you pull it towards the right very gently as if you're opening a channel. Then you do the same thing on the other side. You push down and you grab the neck and you pull it towards the left. Okay? Now you lift up your left ear, you bring your hands down in the bottom of the ear, you massage. Now this is actually the beginning of the vagus nerve, and you can buy a lot of toys that puts around your ear to energize the vagus nerve. Here you save money by using only your fingers. And then I want you to bring back, massage. Now it's very important that as you do that, you whisper to yourself and say, relax, relax. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Lift up and massage the bottom of your ear. And then you massage. And again, whispering to yourself, relax, relax. Now there's an energy point on top of the ear. You take your right hand, you massage that. That's called the spring at the corner. And then you bring down. And then same thing on the other side. And you come down. Now you come back, and in between this energy point and the cavity, you put your thumb on top of the bone, right? You feel the bone. You come down at the just slightly, and you push in and you massage. Now this, you feel a lot of stress in here, right? Now these two energy points has to do with improving your quality of your sleep. Okay, so when you have a headache and you can't go to sleep, this is the one that helps. Now you come back to the cavity and you're going to massage the neck by squeezing those two energy points. Then you come down to the middle of the neck and you squeeze the other two energy points. And you go all the way down here and you squeeze the back. Right? Now you take your thumb, this meaty part of the thumb, and you massage your neck. And then you massage your neck. Okay? Now, if you have a lot of stress and you feel really tired and your head is very stiff, you take your 4 fingers, you put it on one side, and you take your thumb, you put it on the other side, right? One on top and one on the middle. And you can actually like squeeze, and then the other one, squeeze, okay? Every time I go to the dentist, when I come home, I have so much stress, and then that's how I relieve my stress. Okay, so now we're gonna scrape here. Okay, scrape right here. There's a tendon that comes around right here. It's actually there's three tendons that we're gonna work on. Three pieces of muscle that we need to work on. One is right here. One is the bottom of the feet, and one is behind the knee. Right. Those are the heaven, the being, and then the earth. Now this one actually hides into your eye. There's actually a saying. So I want you to do is sit up straight and turn your head to the right, but don't turn it all the way. If you turn it all the way, it's too stiff. So just turn to the middle. Okay. Now take your index finger, use it as a scraper. I don't recommend you use a tool. It's too harsh. So just put it right below your ear and work along this piece of muscle. And now you can also turn your eyes so you're looking at your back, as if you're looking at your back. Okay, all right. So now the next part is right below here and just kind of scrape. That's where the nymphs are. Okay, now I want you to massage the shoulder by finding these cavities, one on top of the shoulder, very easy to find, in the back, around, very easy to find, and just massage all these cavities. Okay, now the difference between massaging cavities versus massaging the muscle, massaging the cavities is often called fascia massage, right? Massaging the connective tissue. Now, the difference is that when you massage muscle, you have to do it almost every day, right? Until something happens. But when you massage the cavities, you let your body heal itself, all right? Same thing, lift up, turn your head slightly to the left, turn your eyes so that you're looking at your back. You take your left hand, use the index finger, and just scrape along this piece of muscle. And then scrape along the right side of your neck. Okay, and then massage the shoulder, the back of the shoulder. Just find all these cavities. Okay, massage the shoulder. All right. Okay. So we're now learn to massage our face, our eyes, and our ears. Okay, before we get to the top of the head. All right. So now we're going to massage the face first, and so we'll come back to the healing hand, and we're going to just rub it together. And then we're going to form a cavity, put that on in front of your eye so you're not pressing on the eyeball. You sit up straight, you open your eyes, and if you see any light, you keep moving your fingers until you see total darkness. You come back, first time, put that on your eye, open your eyes. Second time, put that on your eyes. One last time, put that on your eyes. Now massage your forehead, massage your face, massage on the two side of your nose. And then massage the side of the face, and then massage the temple. And now massage in between the eyebrow. Massage the beginning of the eyebrow using your index finger. Massage on top of your eyebrow. You feel the stress right here. And then massage right here where it forms a corner. Now massage your forehead. Massage the part of the brain that is responsible for all your cognitive function, the big brain. Massage the back of the head that is responsible for your memory. And then massage below what we call the small brain, which is responsible for all your motor function. Massage the neck, massage above the ears, and come back, massage the face again. And then grab each of the fingers and massage the fingers. Now to the right side. Okay. All right. So now we're going to massage around the eyes. Okay. Now there's a lot of energy points around that as we age, right? We know that how our eyes deteriorate in various form, various form. Now we take index fingers, we put that in the beginning of the eyebrow, we sit up straight, we press down with the fingertips, not the fingernail. We hold it. And then we put an index finger in between the eyebrow and we squeeze the eyebrow, massaging all three energy points and also squeezing the tubes that carries oils into your eye, right? When you have dry eye as we age, it's not because you don't have tears. You can put as much artificial tears as you want, but if you don't have water, the tears will evaporate. So go buy some gel and put that in your eyes before you go to sleep. That really helps. Now you take your right thumb, you put that at the corner of your eye, and you just massage right below the eye bag. And then same thing over here. Okay, now we're going to do some eye yoga, so some eye exercise. We're going to take the index finger, put that at the corner of the eye, but don't press on the eyeball. Press right at the corner, but actually on the side of the nose, right? You can feel a little bit of something there. Okay, now sit up straight, close your eye. We're going to do some eye yoga. And we're going to turn our eyes up, eyeballs up, as if you're looking at the ceiling. We're going to turn it to the right, as if you're looking at very, very far. We're going to turn it down, as if you're looking at the floor. Turn it to the left. Okay, now back to up. We're going to rotate your eyeballs clockwise. Up, right, down, left. Up, right, down, left. Up, right, down, left. Come back to up. We're going to rotate counterclockwise. Left, down, right, up. Left, down, right, up. Left, down, right, up. Open your eyes. This energy point is called the bright eye. Okay? All right, so now we take two fingers and just massage all the way down to our chin. Massage along both sides of the nose to the corner of the mouth, down to the chin. Now, we take the index finger, put that below the eye bag, push down. Outside the nostril, push down. Take one index finger, wrap around that area is in between your nose and your upper part of your lip. Then we're going to take 4 fingers and massage the neck. Now we're going to massage your ears. The ears are important. The ear actually reflects the entire body. It has the shape of the fetus. The Chinese believe that the fetus contains all of your energy points and then it's reflected onto your ear. But it's upside down. So top, put the thumb on top and just massage the top part of your ear. Put that in the middle, massage the back of the ear. Take the index finger, put that below, massage the back of the ear. Now massage the tip and just kind of pull it 45 degrees. Massage the edge, massage the ear loop, and then again pull it 45 degrees. Leave the thumb behind the ear loop. Take the index finger, put it on the outside, and just massage. Now we're going to massage the back of the ear. For those of you who have high blood pressure, this is the part that helps by massaging that full area from the top to the bottom. Then take your 2 index fingers, massage the top of the ear, and then comes down. 1 finger on the ear, 1 finger on the skull, until you get to the very bottom. You massage that too. Same thing on the other side. Massage the full, massage the top along the back of the ear all the way to the bottom. Now we're going to do one more thing, which is what we call drumming the ear. So we're going to take 2 hands, put that behind. We're going to stretch the ear, close the ear, and then we go 1, 2, 3. Okay? All right. So now finally we get to the top of the head. So let's sit up straight, lift up our shoulder, open the shoulder, lean back, relax, and then we're going to lean back the forehead so that the ears on top of the shoulder. Then we're going to tuck in the chin. So the top of the head, this energy point here where all the yang energy comes together, is called the 100 meat, is actually now on top of a central nerve system. There's 4 energy points on 4 corners, right? Actually, front, back, left, and right. And so we're going to tap all 5 energy points by taking a 10 fingers, pointing it down. Close your eye, feel the vibration as you tap. Get ready, go. Okay, now we're going to continue to tap until we get to the bottom of the feet. So the next one is on top of shoulder. So sit up straight, open the shoulder, lean back, relax, turn the head to the right, bring out a right hand, form an empty hand, fingers on top, palm in the front. Listen with your left ear. Get ready. Wake up. Continue. Okay, the other side, stretch, open, lean back, relax, turn the head to the left, Bring out a left hand, empty hand, put that on our right shoulder. Listen with the right ear. Get ready? Go. Wake up. Continue. Okay. Now the next cavity is at the armpit. Right. These are the what we call longevity cavities. This one is the closest to our heart. You feel the warmth in here, right? It actually runs along, and so what we need to do is stretch this muscle. We take our left elbow, we put that on the top of the head, we sit up straight, right? So you can feel that you're stretching this. Then we pinch on the right side. Remember now, this is upside down, so this is actually tied to the kidney. All right, so looking straight ahead, turn our head to the right, bring up our right hand, put that on the left, listen with the left ear, get ready, go. Wake up. Okay, now the other side, take a right elbow, put that on top of your head, sit up straight, pinch the left upper part of your left ear, turn the head to the left, left hand, empty hand, right ear, get ready, go. Wake up. Okay, now finally to the elbow. So lock the elbow. There's three meridians here, so it's three energy points. It's one, two, three. Okay, so we lock the elbow. We take our right hand, we wrap around the elbow, fingers on top, palm of the hand on the side. We turn our palm so it's facing up. We lift it up to eye level. We turn our head to the right. Listen with the left ear. Get ready. Make sure that you use empty hand. Okay. We actually activate exciting it with air. All right. Get ready. Go. Wake up. Now the other side. Lock your elbow, palm facing up. Lift it up to eye level. Left hand, right ear. Get ready. Go. Wake up. Okay. All right. So it's 1 hour in, and we finally get to the lower part of the body. So I'm going to focus on what is called the 3-1-2 technique. Three energy points. Remember now, the three energy point. One is here, merging valley. One is right here, and then the third one is part of the stomach meridian. And stomach meridian is the yang energy line, so it's facing the sun. It's right in front. So you come to the knee, find this thimble. You measure four fingers. You locate the bone. It's just right outside the bone. Okay. All right. Now, but you use this energy point. Remember? Okay. Now you put that in here. Put that in here. Close your knee and tap that 30 times. Get ready. Go. Okay, so if you want to do very minimum, those are the three energy points that they recommend: one, two, and three. Right? Now we do a little bit more, and so to conserve time, I go all the way to where the big toe and the second toes are. You see this channel here. You use the right thumb and you massage. Now this is the liver energy, right? Now, liver is vegetation of wood. What burns wood? Fire, right? So not only do we associate organs with the five elements, we associate our emotion with the five elements. What do you think is fire associated with? Anger.
right? So if you feel that a lot, you just have a lot of anger in you, and you want to release the residual, right? Because they form residuals in your body, and you massage this one. Now you take your feet, you turn it upside down. The liver energy line is very well hidden, but this tendon right here is one of the three longevity tendon. This one, and then this one. Now you pull it back. You see this tendon. You scrape this tendon. Okay. All right, and then you relax. You scrape the bottom of your feet. Okay. Now, if you see the ball area right below is the beginning of the kidney energy line. So I want you to take your two thumbs and do some acupressure and just lean into it, okay? Because it takes a lot of effort. Lean into it. Lean into it. And then now you use your right thumb, this meaty part, massage. Use the edge as if you're cutting through butter. Okay, now we're going to tap this energy point. This is a very important part, a very important part of exercise. You turn your toes back, you form empty hand, and they fit perfectly. All right? Okay, we're going to tap that 30 times. Get ready, go. Continue. Okay, now we do the right side. Take the edge of your thumb and just kind of massage in between the toes. Now, for those of you who have high blood pressure, there are four energy points that are known to relieve your high blood pressure in between your here, and then also in between. You see the parallel, right? It's a big thumb and the second toe finger, and it's a big toe in the second, right? You see the parallel. Okay. Now you're gonna take that, turn the toes back, scrape the bottom of your feet, and then relax, scrape the bottom of your feet, and then press that part underneath the ball area. Now, if you want to be precise, subtract the toes. The remaining part of your bottom of your feet is around 1/3, right? And just press, 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 and then massage with your thumb, massage, and then we're gonna tap that 30 times. Get ready? Go. Continue. Okay, now in that 3-1-2 video that I've been circulating, when it gets to the 3-1-2, right? 3 is 3 energy point. 1 is abdominal breathing, which we did last week and we're going to do next week. And then the 2 means second heart. It's right here, right here, right? Now, in the video, they do a lot of very energetic exercise. I don't recommend that, especially for those who are like my mother's age, in the somewhere between 70 and 80s. I don't recommend it that you do too much exercise with your knee, right? Because your knee is already uh, giving up. So there are other ways you could exercise, and you mainly want to exercise the calf, not the knee. And the calf is what we call the second heart. So there are a couple of ways you can do that. You can walk both on flat land or up and down the stairs. Um, and you can do the exercise that we do, which is standing without locking your knee, activating this part. Or you identify this energy point right here, and you can kind of put that on your right shoulder, and you just kind of squeeze that. That also energize the calf, and then do the other side. Okay, like that. That will help. Or you can even tap. You can tap that. You can tap that. Right, that helps. There are many ways you could um, maintain the health of your calf. There are many ways, right? And using your knees going up and down, like that repeatedly might not be the ideal because you hurt your knee. All right. So let's sit down, and we're going to continue to stretch. We're going to continue to stretch. The next one, we're going to stretch all the way back down. And then, but before we do that, let's stand up straight and massage. And put your palm now. This is where the energy points are that are associated with the kidneys. How do you know where it is? Find the belly button. It's right in the back. So put your fingers in here, right? And it's right there, right there. So just massage. And then use your fist, make circular function. That's very good for your kidney. Now, then we stand straight, lock a knee this time. So we're stretching the back of the leg. Going to put that, and then we're going to bring it down, lock in your knee. Go as far down as you can. If you could, go as far down as touching your calf. You feel that the calf is very stiff, right? That's what you want to do. Now, it's a very gentle exercise, okay? You're not, last thing we want to do is create more damage to our body parts, right? We don't want that. We just want to make sure what we got. Okay, back one last time. And then, all right, now we're going to loosen up your knee. We're going to tap the energy point in your back, which is another longevity cavity. This one activates the gallbladder energy line, which is indirectly associated with your back. Those of you who have back problem, right, you want to make sure that you have plenty of kidney energy. Get ready? Go. Continue. Okay, now comes to the last longevity cavity. This is right here. So this is actually a bottleneck for all the yin energy, the kidney, the liver, and the splint. And as it comes up, this is the bottleneck, right? Now we all know that as we age, we stop using our reproductive organs, and we tend to forget them because we don't use it anymore, right? That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. That's why as we age, we have problems with the reproductive organs because we think of them as reproduction only. They're not. They're a source of life. And so when we are young, they're the source of life for the next generation, but they continue to be the source of life for us. And so this is the one exercise that I highly recommend. And so I ask you to, when you go to bed, first of all, when you go to bed, you don't sleep lying down, right? Because you actually want to sleep on the side, both left or right is okay. But first you lie down, you relax, and then you massage this area. Okay, you massage this, both male and female. Okay, now we're going to tap that 30 times by forming a soft fist right around here. Get ready, go. Okay, all right, we get ready for the YJJ now, the YJJ. Again, it means renewal of the connected tissue. That's the correct translation. It basically says renew the energy that are within our meridians. So you notice that Yi Jing Jing work mainly with the yang energy, releasing the energy in you, right? First is the spiral cord. And before we do that, let's focus on the bottom of the feet. Bottom of the feet, the energy point that we just tapped is called a gushing spring. It's as if the earth energy is gushing into our body. So we firmly on the ground. Then we turn the toes inward, loosening up our knee, second heart, right? So we're activating the calf. Okay. Now we come to the shoulder. The shoulder is called a well on the shoulder. So we open up a well and then relax. So as if we're aligning the opening of the well with the source of the spring. Then we lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin, put
the 100 meat on top of a spiral core. Then we take the bottom, the center of a palm, the one that actually can release healing energy. We point that to the earth. We bring the hand back as if we're forming 90 degrees. So we're on the both sides of the spiral core. Now, the first one is called what is it called? It's called spirit boosting palm. Spirit is right here, right? So it's essentially setting a shock wave through our spiral core and up. So that's why the posture is that important. Now, the way to do that, this is a yogic exercise, a yoga. Yeah, it's a yogic exercise. It's practiced by the yogis, which means that the key to the practice is mind, body together. Now, it's a sequence of discipline, okay? You first focus on the center of your palm, where the hand goes, the eye goes. So you close your eye, but it's just you're looking at the center of your palm. Where your eye goes, your mind goes. You focus entirely on the center of your palm. Where the mind goes, the energy goes. Where the energy goes, the chi goes, right? It's one step at a time. Focus on the center of your palm, and when you push, try to see if you could use your mental energy, not just your physical energy. Get ready? Go. Now, back to the breath. It's very important that you go from the sympathetic nerve back to the parasympathetic nerve. Very important that after you finish the fight or flight, you come back to the rest and digest. And the way you do that is that you completely relax, you completely focus. No multitasking, no multitasking. Focus on your breath. Think only on your breath. I feel that I'm breathing in. I feel that I'm breathing out. Now do the second one. I feel that I'm breathing in. I feel that I'm breathing out. Okay? Now, second time, get ready. Back to your posture. Check every single part of your body. And then focus on the center of your palm. Go. Back to the breath. Stay focused. Bring your body back into the rest and digest. And then one last time, get ready. Go. Back to the breath. Now, the way that you know that you're in rest and digest is when you feel the inside your mouth, you actually have saliva. Okay? When you stay in the fight or flight, it turns off your saliva gland. Now the next one is pointing. So now the focus is on your thumb. Point to your hip, roll up your 4 fingers. Pretend someone put 2 buckets of water hanging on your thumbs. You lift up your thumb as if you're lifting up the 2 buckets of water. You hold it, and then you relax without lowering your hand. Stay focused on your breath. One breath at a time. Now, second time. And then back. One last time. And then lower your hand. Stay focused on your breath. Now, most people think of Qigong as a physical exercise. It is not. It is actually a mental exercise. Now, the next one is called beginner's mind. You open your palm. You put your thumb across. You roll up your 4 fingers. And you squeeze your fist. Beginner's mind means baby's mind. This is what the baby does inside the mother's womb. And then relax without lowering your hand. Stay focused. Relax. One breath at a time. No multitasking. Second time. Relax without lowering your fingers. Lower your hand. One last time. And this time you lower your hand. You completely relax. Focus on your breath. Now you put your fists together, put that in front of your belly button. You take a deep breath as you follow your fist all the way up to your nose, and then relax. Now you bring your elbows together, you focus on your back. The back has a lot of energy point. They're all part of the gallbladder energy line. And so you want to just open the back, stretch the back, and then relax. Second time. And then relax. One last time. And then relax. Now you take your fist, you put that on top of your head, you open your shoulder, you open your fist. Now you roll your fist, one joint, two joint, lock it with your thumb, and you squeeze your fist, right? This is what the nurse tells you to do when they want to take blood away from you. You squeeze your fist. Basically, you're working against your heart, and then you relax. Let the blood come back to the, okay? So you notice that we do stretching and we do cardio here. Second time, squeeze as hard as you can, and then relax. One breath at a time. One last time, open your shoulders, squeeze as hard as you can, and then relax. After 2 breaths, the next one is called stabbing the shoulder. So first you open the shoulder. Then it's as if you're grabbing 2 daggers. You point the dagger onto your shoulder. You look straight ahead and you stab. You feel the tightness in the back of your neck. And then you relax. Let the chi goes to the top of your head. Reduce inflammation in your brain. Bye-bye dementia. Second time, stab now. It's very important that you open your shoulder. It's very important that you open your shoulder. It's very important that you point the dagger onto your shoulder. And then you press down, you stab your shoulder, looking straight ahead, and then relax. One last time, stab, and then relax. The next one, we're stretching the triple warmer. The triple warmer is everything in here, right? So we make a cross as if you can touch the tree. We're just going to push on the tree. We don't punch, okay? Now, first, you're going to turn your wrist. Then you roll your fist. You take a deep breath. You hold your breath and you push. And then you go. Second time. Push. Relax. One last time. Now, same thing, front hanging. Hanging means that this is like the bamboos that you hang your clothes. So you got to make sure that you lock your elbow. Again, touch the tree in front. Roll your fist, wrist. Roll your fist, take a deep breath, and push. Relax. Second time. Relax. One last time. Relax. Now comes the muscle. First, this muscle, right? So we look up. We're going to do a chin up. We see the bar. We grab the bar. We're going to use as much strength as we can and pull yourself up. And then relax, right? Very tight here. We don't want, this is muscle retention. So this Yi Jing exercise combines stretching, cardio, and muscle. Pull yourself up and then relax. One last time. As much strength as I can, pull myself up and then relax. Now we continue. This one is called opening the bow and arrow. As if you grab a bow on the right side and grab a bow on the left side. And you open that bow and then relax using this muscle. Second time. And then relax. One last time. And then relax. Okay. Now you collect all your saliva. And if you don't have any, you're doing it wrong. Swallow. Okay. And now the next part actually has to do with the kidney again. Kidney has to do with the spiral cord. Spiral cord has to do with the brain, right? And in America, the yoga exercise that we do is called hatha yoga. And mainly they do a lot of inversion, right? To preserve the essence of the kidney, which is the brain matter. So the way we do that is that first we straighten our back. Then we put a fist together. We don't lock a knee, back of the hand touching, and then we go down. Okay, don't be afraid of dipping your head down because that's the whole point. Then you lock your elbow, back of the hand touching. Now make sure your knees are not locked, so using the calf. Then we squeeze the fist one time, back of the hand touching. Focus on the breath. Second time. And then one last time. Okay, now we're going to do the next sequence non-stop, and it has to do with the kidney energy, the brain, everything. So we turn our palm upward. Make sure that you're not locking your knee. Make sure you're using your calf. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Lower your knee. See that big rock in front of you. Mind, body together. Push. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Now, this is a very energetic exercise. So many of you might be too much. And that's one of the irony is that you really have to start this exercise when you still have some strength in you. And then the exercise is a longevity exercise. It helps you preserve that strength, that vitality. But on the other hand, if you say, look, I just started, okay? And I can't do the stuff you do. Then do something. At least you don't go back, right? So fast, right? Okay, so now we're going to meditate. And I wanted to use the remaining time for our metta meditation. So first we're going to focus on the body. I talk about the Shambhala warriors. I talk about the monks, right? The monks are your teachers. They're not your savior. They're just teaching you how to develop compassion, how to develop wisdom. They do that by living it. They walk on their bare feet to practice the mindfulness. They eat with their hands to practice on mindfulness. And then they practice the compassion, right? Compassion basically means feel, but don't judge, right? So that's why people are so open to them because they're like the shining sun. The black clouds is already all gone. And all you feel is that warmth. It brings out the sun in you, right? The bright sun in you. That's why compassion is both compassion and wisdom. So the question is, how do you practice wisdom? Well, the opposite of wisdom is ignorance. Ignorance starts with ignore. So that's what the monk says. Let's start with finding ourselves first, finding our breath, finding our body. We haven't been paying attention. So let's find our breath, focus on our breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. So today I talk a lot about stretching your spine, opening your shoulder, lean back and relax. Now let's put the breath and the posture together. Let's sit up straight, lift up our shoulder, open our shoulder, lean back and relax. Now come to our breath. Feel that I'm breathing in. Feel that I'm breathing out, one breath at a time. Now focus on the very bottom of your spine. As you breathe in, I want you to stretch the spine from the bottom of the spine to the top of the head, as if you're hanging the spine onto the ceiling. And then when you breathe out, I want you to lean back and relax. Breathe in, stretch your spine. Breathe out, lean back and relax. As you stretch your spine, I want you to feel the energy in you. As you breathe in, you're taking oxygen from the outside. That's the mineral. That's the nutrient that the lung takes in. It gives it to the heart. The heart takes that energy, that nutrient through the bloodstreams. Then it adds it to your kidney energy. So as you stretch your spine, you feel the energy in you. I want you to think about that energy in you, the life in you. That all comes from the oxygen. The oxygen comes from the forests and the trees. And one of the things that I talk about here is how to develop wisdom. Develop wisdom by discovering the source of your ignorance, because that's the opposite side. It's not to say that you're ignorant, it's just to say that you've been ignoring. So I want you to stop ignoring and feel the energy in you, and know that the energy comes from the oxygen that you breathe, and know that the oxygen comes from the trees and the forest, and know that there are millions and billions and tens of billions of living beings out there that are non-human, but yet they're there to protect the trees and the forest so that the humans can breathe in the oxygen. Of course, the other animals can too. So I want you to think about how we are grateful for the other beings that coexist on planet Earth with us, and how we've been ignoring them. So as you breathe in, you stretch your spine. I want you to feel the life energy and bring out your sense of gratitude. As you breathe out, you lean back. You understand that everything comes in a cycle. As much as you breathe in, you have to breathe out. The cycle gives you a chance to calibrate yourself. The end of the cycle is just the beginning of another cycle. So as you breathe out, I want you to think about all the things that you might have done wrong. And you think about the possibility of accepting that you have done wrong, whether you intentional or non-intentional. And first, by accepting who you are, and maybe even forgive some of the things that you have done that you might not be very proud of, that you might have hurt someone. First, accept who you are and try to forgive the wrongdoing. Now think about the other beings, the people that might have caused suffering in you. Maybe if you could forgive yourself, you could forgive others. Maybe the key to stop suffering is, in fact, with yourself. Maybe it's time to let go of that and don't let that negative energy overcome you. So maybe it's time, while we are forgiving ourselves, that it's time to forgive others. Gratitude, acceptance, and forgiveness, they're the building blocks for the next step. The next step is loving kindness. Maybe it's time for us to focus on loving kindness and compassion, starting with ourselves. I want to be healthy, to be happy, and to be peaceful. I want my family to be happy, to be healthy, and to be peaceful. I want all my friends to be happy, to be healthy, and to be peaceful. I want all my neighbors to be healthy, to be happy, and to be peaceful. I want all the people who live in my city to be happy, to be healthy, and to be peaceful. I want everyone who lives in this planet, whether they're human or non-human, whether they're big or small, whether they're light color or dark color, to let go of the pain, let go of the anger, let go of the division, and to be happy, to be healthy, and to be peaceful. May all beings be free from animosity and negative energy. 願所有眾生能遠離一切敵意、一切負能量。Sabe Sata Avaya May all beings be free from mental suffering. 願所有眾生能遠離一切心理嘅痛苦。Sabe Sata Ayabajantu. May all beings be free from physical suffering. 願所有眾生能遠離一切身體嘅痛苦。Sabe Sata Nagantu. May all beings be full of joy and protected by positive energy. 願所有眾生能保持正能量，得到身心嘅安穩。Sabe Sata Suki Hantano Kuri Harantu. Now we're going to take the refuge with what we call the triple gems. Now, I want you to understand that the triple gems is not an expression of any particular religion. The triple gems are the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha is a teacher. It doesn't need to be one person. It could be anyone. It could be a loka, the walking dog. It could be the monks. It could be the historical Buddha. But when we say that we take refuge with Buddha, it just means that we take refuge with the teachers. The teachers are the one that holds the light and guide you to walk on your path, your own path. They're not your savior. When we take refuge with the Dharma, that is the path. That's the path of non-suffering. That's the path of loving kindness, compassion, empathy, and then ultimately equanimity. When we take refuge with the Sangha, that's the fellow travelers. Those are the students. I take refuge with Buddha, Guayifat. Buddham Sarandam Gacchami. I take refuge with Buddha, with Dharma, 皈依法。Dhammam saranam gacchami. I take refuge with Dharma, 皈依法。Dhamma saranam gacchami. I pay homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, and the fully enlightened One. 禮敬世尊、阿羅漢、正等正覺。Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. May you all be blessed with health, with happiness, and most importantly, with your inner peace. Namaste. OK， 我哋星期一見，多謝大家支持。
好 ，thank you，Danny 師兄。
OK，拜拜，星期一見。
拜拜。